Everyone, happy to see you here. Somehow I'm feeling like at home at this environment because it's already 8th time that I'm having a chance to speak in this conference, and thanks for inviting me again. Today we will talk about the evolution of the profession that we have. Whenever we call it like quality engineering, quality assurance engineering, software testing engineering. So I think all of us understand the same under that title. So my favorite way of calling this profession is quality engineering. I will go to the details during the presentation. So shortly about myself. My name is Sargis. I'm Director of Quality Engineering at PixArt. PixArt is all-in-one photo and video editing app. The company is more than 1,000 employees, and basically we have also office in Moscow. The main team is located in Yerevan, and all over together the quality engineering team is more than 100 people. So basically all the processes that we are talking about today, it's a processes that were applied to the 100 people group. Yeah. Basically, we'll start from some history overview. We'll try to understand where this profession is coming, what is the meaning of it, why we need this, and basically how the transformation of this position, of this profession, become over the years. So, what do you think? Who was the first tester? Maybe Ev? Who tried the apple? Ev. Basically, that was the monkey testing, yes? Exploratory testing. Just try the apple. You never know the results. You don't have expected result, but you have to test to understand what happens the next. Yeah? When we are talking about testing, I would say that everyone in this world is a tester. Yeah? How is baby learning something? They just test it. Yeah? How the baby understands that if something is hot, he or she cannot touch it. The first one needs to try and then understand what is the expected result, so later to avoid it. So coming back to this historical overview, what do you think? What was the next test in the world? The test that already had the expected result, which was run twice. The first one was failed. The second one was succeed. Anything coming to your mind? It's Noah. He sent the raven out, and the test failed actually. It didn't arrive back. And the second round of regression, he sent the dove, and then it arrived, and the test was succeed. And then was one of the biggest releases in the world. Yeah? Basically, life is a test. And everyone is a tester. So what a difference of our profession with others. Yeah? From my point of view, everyone in the Agile team is a tester. We're just doing a different aspects. Yeah? There is a dev test, there is a quality test, there is an acceptance test, which is done by product, etc. So the exact action of the testing is responsibility of everyone in the team. So, in current informational world and in current statistical overview, what we understand when we say what is about the quality engineering. Some of you would say it's team that doing finding the bugs. Someone would say it's a evil of the software development, because usually there are some conflicts between the team. There is a solo responsibility of the testing team. It's something that we are doing before the release, etc. So I want to say everything is wrong, basically from my point of view. I don't want to be a part of the team which is dealing with this kind of the states, which dealing with finding the bugs, etc. Eventually, everyone wants to deliver fast, even we in the life. It doesn't matter, we are in the work. Like, we want to be the first, we want to run faster, we want to get somewhere fast, yes? So in the software engineering, we also want to deliver fast. If we deliver fast, we are leading in the market. So if we will compare it with the driving, so if we drive fast, we'll get there faster. If we drive slow, we'll get there slower. How do you think will be the sprint of driving fast in these roads? That's not secured. So what about the roads that has some impediments? Basically, I want to, in parallel life, I want to say that this is a way of finding bugs in the end. You know, there is a quality engineer who is removing these stones and making the roads for the delivery in the last minute. So if there should be an action to remove something, to find the bug, fix the bug, and then drive, I mean, it will get slowly. And how would you think about driving fast here? That already sounds interesting, yeah? Basically, I want to see our profession, like the people in the team who is creating this environment, creating these roads for the team to deliver fast and efficient, because usually it can be fast, but with lots of failure. So when I'm talking about the quality engineering, I'm talking about the people who is doing their best to make sure that when we are driving fast, we are with a fastener seatbelt, yeah, everything is ready, there is no impediments, there is a very low risk of the failure, and we are running as fast as we can. So if you release fast, of course, the business will get benefits, and we also in the business will get the benefits. Before getting to the sum of this creating of this environment that will allow us to run faster, I would like to share some information regarding the Agile Transformation. Maybe some of you already heard about this term, Agile Transformation, because it's quite trendy right now in the market. But let's understand what is it actually, and what is the quality engineer role in both old version and the new version. When we talk about this old version, so it's a waterfall, traditional one. So basically there is a requirement, and then it's getting designed. After the design, we are starting the development. Only after that, we are starting the testing and assuring the quality, and then getting to the deployment. Why this model didn't work well? One of the main issues is handovers. I mean, the development, so I'm done. So who is the next? Then he or she needs to think about what to do. There is no reverse connection. So I'm done. That's all I'm getting. And then when, how another cycle will get there, no one knows. And then someone coming in. So basically there is a lot of handovers, and it creates a lot of lack of the communication, and it prolongs the time. So we cannot run faster with this environment. So when we talk about this traditional method, one sentence that I would say about it, it's let's make sure the failure of the project is not our fault. Every level of the traditional cycle, ensuring that if project will fail, it will not be our fault. That will be the next one, the last one, whenever, but it's not we. We done it properly, we done it on time, we hand over, but who cares that no one took that I mean, it stays somewhere there. So basically, the purpose of the quality department here to verify specifications, to find the bugs that after the development, later to like create a silo between these stages. So because there is no communication, I'm done my work, and then getting for the handover. What's this agile transformation like suggest us to do? It says we have a multidisciplinary team. Inside the team, we have deployment, maintenance, requirement, design, development, test, like everything in one bot. So basically, in this case, everyone in the team, it's in the boat. It's like in a Titanic. So if we die together. If we fail together. If we succeed together. Here, when we are talking about a different part of the teams, for example, quality engineers, the goal for them is the success, not the testing and finding the bugs. So, one simple question here. What is the role of the goalkeeper in the football? Protect? Keeping the gates? Guys, the main goal for the goalkeeper is winning the game. Doesn't matter how. I mean, they can protect the goal, they can like catch all the balls, but in the end of the day, they can lose it. So basically, everyone in the team who is playing the football, the main vision, the main goal is winning the game. So I read a lot of articles when a lot of people comparing like, you know, the quality engineers is the goalkeeper who need to, no guys, please no. We are not the people who is finding the bugs. In this agile methodology, we always say we have to make sure that there is no possibility to leave a bug in the product. About this, we will talk a bit later, but yeah, that's one of the main things. In this methodology, if I will say in one sentence, let's create product that will do great. Here, I'm always saying, if you don't have anything to do in that group, you can bring a coffee to others so they will do their best. Because our goal is the winning the game and getting success. Yeah? It doesn't matter what is your role there. Yeah? In this case, the purpose of the quality engineering is also to help make the product success. Quality engineers are involved through all the process. This is very important. We are not jumping in like after the development is done. The issues are detected earlier because we are testing often. The shift left approach. We talk about it a lot, but we are not implementing it in our daily work quite a lot. The presence of the quality engineer in the team is natural, and the product and is dynamic. So, starting from the beginning, when the requirement is created, the quality engineer is in the game till the day when we release something and when we get to the maintenance and waiting some, for example, problems from the production. So basically, I will get some details, the points that I think it's very, very important to concentrate on it. So one of the important things is shifting left approach. When we are starting with the reviewing requirement, we do like test case planning, we do everything, we do the exact automation preparation, and then we like test like with the small pieces, and in that we do the final testing. Here it's very important that we start with the requirement. In my previous experience, I mean, I'm in this field around like more than 12 years. I worked for the American company. I worked in Germany, in United States, for Czech project, for Polish project, and right now I'm in the Pixar. So basically, all over this experience, when I will like combine. I will say that this is one of the important points that we have to do. In my experience, there was a lot of cases when there was a requirement and it was rejected because the QA would take a look and say, I mean, this is impossible to fit to the product. There is no need to plan, estimate, or something else. So we prevent it in the left side. We never wait until it comes to the development team and then all of them like coming together, estimating, and then finding out that it is impossible or there is something. It doesn't mean that we will review and find all the impediments there. We could skip something also, but we leverage the risk. So the main goal of our role in the team is leveraging the risk. So because we cannot get to the ideal state, we cannot get to the zero bug stage, etc. This is kind of the psychological stuff. But in any case, we can do some step to reduce the risk. So basically, when we say shift left, I mean that during the planning testing, we are reviewing the strategy in early stages. We review the requirement. We do the testing often. This is very important because I had a lot of cases when they say, we wait until development will finish and then we'll jump in for the testing. It's better to start as soon as possible if even the product is not ready, fully developed. We can test with the small pieces. If we test often with the small pieces, the final test, which is getting, close to the release, will be very fast. If you spend 2 days for that testing, if you test first, with the small pieces, in the end of the day, you will finish it within hours. Because you know everything, you know the details, etc. And if you find an issue during this often testing, small part testing, this is very, very cheap to fix. Because the developer is working on it, the code is there, so it's continuous work, and then on the fly they are fixing something. If we are waiting until the development done, of course the developer is not sitting and waiting until you report the bug. They are switching to another task. And then when you open a bug, they have to context switch. The context switches is one of the main time-consuming thing. So they context switch, they fix the bug, and then continuing another work. Do the automation testing. This is the part that I can talk for hours because my background is strong automation. But today I will talk about with a very few words in the next slide. But the idea of automation is not automating everything. That's basically kind of impossible or super expensive to do. The idea of automation, automate anything that is repetitive. It doesn't mean that we will not test. We have to test, especially the new features. But for the regression part, we can use the automation testing. Basically, if I will bring an example related to the Pixar, we cannot skip manual testing because it's visual up. Because there are colors, the experience should be smooth because the test can pass, but basically the application can blink. And application blinking during the video editing, it's not the most pleasure thing. So basically, the manual testing, which we are doing daily, that's very important thing. But we need to leverage this work to put more effort in other stages. Prevention instead of correction. Guys, this is very, very important thing. Please dig into it, think about it. Usually, I'm asking the question in a theoretical level, saying that let's imagine that we have 2 teams and 1 quality engineer there and 1 quality engineer there. Every time one team gets a lot of critical bugs during the regression test, the quality engineer testing and finding these bugs and reporting, and the second teams, there are very few of them. Which quality engineer works best? Why? But let's imagine that they are isolated, so they are not connected to each other. Yeah. Yeah. Basically, in some experiences, when I'm hearing about that, this is a good quality engineer, he or she reports a lot of bugs, etc. This is a bad, because there are a few. So this is not a KPI for me. The KPI can be the reported bugs from the production from both sides. Because if this quality engineer was working during the implementation very good, like he did a test planning, requirement review, did it like short testings, find all the bugs before the release, and we are getting to the regression cycle and there is no bugs, it doesn't mean that he or she testing bad. It means that he prevents a lot to not have bug today. And the one who does nothing during the cycle and just reporting bunch of the bugs before the regression, that we are running and there are a lot of stones and someone is removing these stones from the rods and it takes like days to get to the production. So this is already bad behavior. And the true KPI in the end of the day should be the reported bugs from the users, if there are any. So in case, if I ask the scenario, someone say that, what if in that side there are reported lots of bugs from the production, in this case less, I would say that, okay, then we have an issue here. But if we are having the same KPIs from the production reported bugs, then the one is doing the faster testing, often testing, and then don't have anything to do during the regression, that's the best thing. And then the team collaboration. Of course, we have to be a part of the Agile team. There should not be an evil and a devil in a team, saying that the development is the evil and the quality is the devil, and they are fighting, they are finding the bugs, and then they are like argues and so. No, guys, we have to be in one team. We are a family, we are in the same boat. If we will fight, the boat will sink and we will not be able to, to succeed, gonna fail. Yeah, basically, this team collaboration is very, very important. In the Agile team, the three main components, it's teamwork, ownership, and the transparency. If we keep high on these three components, we will get the maximum results that we could have. Talking about the automation, there are a lot of benefits that we can gain from there. When I'm talking about automation, I'm talking about real automation, not playing around automation. Because if we will play around automation, we will spend a lot of resources. It's super hard to get to the automation fast and efficient. Yeah? Personally, me, I was a developer and then switched to the software development in test and start to work in automation for years before getting to this job. And I do understand if there is no strong programming language skills, you will not be able to create something from the scratch. At least this framework should be ready, and then with the basic knowledge, you can start to write a test case there. But the create this environment will be super, super hard. According to the World Quality Report 2020, the most trends in IT is related to the automation and adoption of the Agile methodology. So basically, automation and the Agile methodology are in the trend, in the top of the trends right now, because everyone wants to release fast, everyone wants to do the automation, everyone wants to do everything by clicking in some button. And when I'm talking about automation, it's not just writing the tests, UI test, API test. The process automation is also something that we have to do. Basically, to bring a simple example from my work experience, you know how we are releasing the mobile app? Basically, I can take my phone right now, I can open the Slack, and we have a bot there. I can say, push to production this version, and in a half an hour, it will be there. I don't need any computer, anything. Just a phone, I can release all the Pixar applications in a spot. If I don't have this automation, the work automation, the process automation, I have to build the binary. I have to go to the, I don't know, iTunes. I need to upload it there. I need to wait for the upload. I mean, there are a bunch of stuff that we need to do. But there is a bot. When I'm saying release iOS, it's releasing iOS. I'm saying release Android, it will release Android. So this is also part of the automation, because why we do the automation? To win a time. So we are winning a time in the manual testing, we are winning a time doing the release. It doesn't matter. We are winning a time. If something we can do that will create that cool roads that we can like drive fast, then we have to do that. We already talked about this. Focus on prevention before the correction. You had some incident. If you fix that, focus on prevention. How we should make sure that this issue will not be reported again. This is much more important than fixing and shipping it fast. Because if we are not getting to the roots, we are not getting to the core cause of the problem, basically we didn't fix it. We just hide it. They will fix and then go. So how many of you doing a RCA, root cause analysis, in your daily work? 1, 2. Okay, this is very, very important thing to do. When we have a problem, we see the top of the problem, but we never see the root. If we didn't remove the root, like sooner or later, it's gonna be appear again. Yeah. What does it mean doing a RCA? Basically, this process comes from, I guess, 1935 from the Toyota. And when they had some machine which was breaking a lot, one of the managers introduced this process saying, let's get to the root of the issue instead of fixing it fast and continuing. Let's find the root and fix it, and we'll never face this. And then it's become very popular in any industry. It's also very popular in the within the lawyers, I mean within the manufacturing and within the IT. When we say about what is the IT, RCA, it's basically answering to the 3 questions: what happened, why it happened, and how we can find the root of the problem. Yeah. Basically, RCA is the structured and effective process to find root cause of the issues. This is very, very time-consuming process, but it's worth to do. It was to spend the time on the prevention, later to not remove that stones from the roads. Just make sure that the environment is clean and will not have any issue. So as it is a bit time-consuming, please don't be lazy. Just do an RCA. This is super, super important. This is one of the very, very challenging processes that it's hard to implement, but later when you get the results, you enjoy it. From my previous experiences, I would say, for example, when we do RCA, we mark them with the factors. For example, this happened because of the organizational cause. I mean, people didn't communicate well between each other. We mark them as a requirement. Basically, the core of the issue comes from the product. We mark it like testing issue, development issue. So when we put the factor, like every 3 months, we group them and understand which factor is dominating. So if we are always having an issue of organizational factor, it means that we are bad in the communication. Let's do something for getting it better. If every time, like the majority of the issues coming from the product because the requirement is not good one, we have to go to the product, discuss it, and understand what we can do to make it better. Yeah? So what is the timeline of the RCA? Fixing a bug or issue, getting it verified and deployed, because this is very important. We have a problem, we fix it, we deploy it. When it's already in the production, we are getting to the RCA. We try to find, like, for example, we need to find how we can prevent it, first of all. Like, maybe we can add an automation there. Maybe we need to talk to the product. Maybe we need to add more transparency within the team because it seems the transparency is lacking there. Or we need to escalate this issue to the topper management, saying that we have this repeating issue, we have to fix on it. One of the most famous processes of the RCA is the 5 why. Yeah. The idea of this process is you asking yourself the question, why, answering, and then why, answering, why, answering, why, answering. And when you answer the 5th why, you are getting to the root. I mean, this is a statistical data. Maybe it will be +1, +2, but the idea to answer at least 5 whys. This is not a solo work to do. I mean, you as a quality engineer should not sit with your laptop and start to do the alone like RCA. There should be involved developer, how we fix it. Where was the issue? I mean, if there is a need, there should also involve the product. I mean, I have an experience when we were doing the RCA with the groups. I mean, we were collecting 4 or 5 the IDs, cases that need the RCA. We come to the room and we started do it together, answering this question, filling all the data, and then have the statistical data later to deal it with. To be more specific, let's go to one example. Let's say we have a server crash that's happening a lot with out of memory. So let's say we are answering like the first why, because the new API was published. I mean, there was some change. After that, we appeared this issue. The second why it was published there, because we just launched a new feature to the users. The third one, why we did it, because we had an engineer that was new and didn't know how to use the API properly. The fourth why we have this kind of the engineer, because the engineer was never trained. Yeah? And the fifth why he wasn't trained, because the manager didn't believe it. So we have the OOM crash, but the actual core of the issue is in onboarding. So if we fix the onboarding, we will prevent a lot of issues going to the production. Basically, this is the idea of it. Because when you dig and start to answer and start to ask why it happened, why this was merged, why this was skipped, why you didn't run the automation, why you didn't did the load testing or Gmeter, etc., in the end of the day, you will find out that the root cause of the problems that is super far from the real problem that we fixed and shipped to the production. So the prevention should be the main goal of the quality engineering. We remove everything, we prepare, everything is ready. Whenever you want, you can go to production. So this is coming to the continuous integration. So if we do everything fine, we will do like super duper automations and stuff, and then we can like go to production every day. Yeah, with the less, I mean, you do the feature testing, you run the regression cycle, everything good around this feature, go to production. It's fast, it should be easy, like the majority of the big companies are doing. So basically, this is all that I wanted to share with you. I hope that was somehow interesting. And this was my subjective opinion on the profession, how we do. It could not match the one that you have. It doesn't mean that we are doing it incorrectly or correct. I'm doing correctly. You never know, because everything cannot be applied in every company. So basically, anything interesting here from this talk, you just bring, you modify, and then implement, because just trying to get the idea on force getting to the team will not succeed, because, this was designed like based on my experience, based on the companies that I was working, and your case could be a bit different. So basically pay more attention on the ideas, on the abstract level, what is the idea, so I am not getting to exact what question we are answering and which factors we have. I'm saying that just concentrate on the prevention. The prevention, it makes our profession more interesting. If you say me, I mean, what is the next step for the test engineer? I mean, get more details. I mean, get like higher, like bigger scope. I mean, not only the testing, because in my personal opinion, it's very subjective. Just testing is boring. I mean, just clicking and finding. If you are not getting to the API level to understand how it was implemented, if you are not getting even to the code, that was my favorite type of the testing. It's white box testing. I was reading that like code, and I was saying, here should be an issue. Let's try it, because this case was missing in the code. It was easier for me to do in some point in my career. So basically, there are like bunch of things to do. Yesterday, one of our colleagues asked us a question. So you are so long in this fair. Is there any development area yet? I say yes. I mean, for me, in my personal opinion, there will not be a development area. It means that I'm died. I mean, there should be always the way of the improvement, because if I will take back like 12 years ago, I mean, everything looks like super different. I mean, who were thinking about the RCA or something like Agile Transformation and stuff? And then it's year by year is coming. I'm pretty sure the next year will be something new, because all this fair is running very fast, improving itself, changing itself. So we need to like keep the temp, run with the trends, and make sure that we are satisfied with the trends. Not just following, but using and getting the results. So thank you very much. I will be happy to answer to any question, and feel free to ask the question in Russian.
Hello, thank you for your speech. Do you think that QA should be a handyman who knows how business works, how UX, UI works, how code somehow works?
I think yes. Actually, everyone in Agile team should know how the business works, how the company makes money, and how we can contribute on that. If we are digging into the Agile, we'll find out that if you have a sprint, you have to have a sprint goal, which is the business goal. So if we do this amount of the stories, feature stories, how this will be improve the user experience and how it will affect to the business. So basically, in my opinion, everyone have to be there. Everyone should be aligned. There should be transparency there, and everyone should understand why they do this work.
Thank you.
Okay. Вопросы? We have the question.
Okay, thank you. Speaking about fast delivery, as you have said, this is very important nowadays, and at the same time, I believe that proper testing requires a significant amount of time. So it's kind of controversial, and any advices on how to find the right balance and how to explain to the management that this will take a big amount of time?
Any change requires a time. To be more specific, one example from my experience, like the last experience from the Pixar, when I joined Pixar 3 years ago, the release cycle, I mean, the stabilization regression cycle was taking around 10 days to be able to ship it. We shorted to like 1.5 and 2 days. It depends from the release. But it wasn't one-time action. I mean, we spent around 1.5 years at least preparing everything, doing the prevention, doing the requirement testing. Like every cycle, we were like shortening by 1-2 hours. We were improving the automation, because when I joined back then, there was an automation which was running like 12 hours. And imagine the build is failing in the middle and we need another 12 hours to run it. But currently we improved this suite of mobile Appium test, which is running within the 2 hours. I mean, it's failed, we will do it again. So during one night we can do. We need to understand that any change in the team, in the company, it's not immediate. Like saying that tomorrow we'll deliver fast, I mean, of course it's failure. Saying that I have a long plan, we have to do this, that, and then this one, and then this process, and we will shorten the time. Give me a time, I will commit on that. Then you do. If you follow up with the prevention instead of the correction, and you plan accordingly, you review your requirements, you do the small and often testing, in the end you will have less time to spend on the testing. This is the very fast and efficient thing. When you start from the beginning, allocate the time in the beginning, in the end of the story development, you will have a very short time of work to do. So basically, this is a very gradually, and it can take year. Basically, in our experience, shortening by 80% time took 1.5 years. Okay, so this is the T-shirt for the question. I will give it to you.
Thank you.
Okay. So during these 2 days, I will be around. We'll be happy to discuss any case, anything that that comes to your mind. Even something is not related to this topic. Even it's something to automation or I don't know, career path, anything. We'll be happy to talk to you. I will try to do my best to do it in Russian, but in some cases maybe I will not succeed. Good. Thank you very much for coming. It was a pleasure to do the presentation, and see you around, guys.